In the world of soap operas, few characters have a romantic history as rich and tangled as the great Victor Newman. While he's been married more times than we can count, his enduring on-again, off-again relationship with Nikki has long been at the center of The Young and the Restless. However, it's time to face facts. Victor should call it quits with Nikki and rekindle his romance with Ashley. Let's be honest, Victor and Nikki's marriage is a drama magnet. While they share decades of history, their relationship often feels more like a cycle of betrayal and reconciliation than a genuine partnership. How many times can a couple break up, get back together, and call it destiny? Just look at how things are right now. They're together, and he's rebuilt their house, but he's also scheming against her best friend because he doesn't trust Jack or Nikki. The spark that once defined their love now seems buried under years of resentment, secrets, and power plays. At this point, their relationship is less a grand love story and more habit neither can break. Enter Ashley, the woman who brings out a completely different side of Victor. With Ashley, Victor isn't just the ruthless tycoon. He's vulnerable, tender, and even introspective. Ashley's intelligence, independence, and grace make her the perfect complement to Victor's domineering personality. She challenges him in ways that Nikki never could, and their chemistry has always been electric. Reuniting Victor and Ashley would also breathe new life into the show. The Newman-Abbott feud has long been a cornerstone, and a rekindled romance between Victor and Ashley would upend alliances and spark fresh drama. Imagine the reactions from Jack and even Nikki. The fallout alone would be must-see TV. Their history is rich, their connection undeniable, and their potential for drama unparalleled. It's time for Victor to close the chapter on his endless cycle with Nikki and start anew with Ashley. It would be the twist that would have every fan talking. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. A surprise return reunites a couple on The Young and the Restless. Here's the latest comings and goings casting news from the soap. Find out if any newcomers are joining the soap in contract, recurring, or day player roles, or if any of your favorite performers are exiting the CBS soap. Michael Damian takes a break from his concert tour as rock star Daniel Romalotti to make a return to Genoa City just in time for New Year's Eve. The character surprises Laura Lee Bell's Christine on Monday, December 30. Colleen Zink is back as the evil Jordan Howard, and she's targeting a new victim. She appears on Thursday, January 2. Ray Wise gets more airtime as masterful manipulator Ian Ward. He appears on Monday, December 30 in scenes with Kate Fairbanks' Tessa Porter, and on Friday, January 3 in a confrontation with Eric Braden's Victor Newman. Last week, Victor welcomed Cole to the Newman family home for Christmas, along with Claire. Sadly, Victoria had to miss it, as she was ill. Victor also let Cole know he could see he was a good man, a good father to Claire, and good for Victoria. Nikki and Claire called it a Christmas miracle. This week, it's time for more cheer and goodwill. Victor raises a glass to the Newmans near and far. May this year be the best of all. Claire and Nikki smile. The Newmans aren't the only ones having a happy holiday season. Danny puts his hands over Christine's eyes from behind and says, "Happy New Year, gorgeous." She gasps in delight. "You made it. Just in time for a New Year's kiss, no doubt." Finally, Ian and Jordan had to change plans once Sharon's meddled with meds were discovered, and thanks to hypnosis, she recalled she did not kill Heather, but she can't remember who did. Ian decided more blood had to be shed, and he had his eye on Phyllis. Next week, outside society, Ian says, "Oh, there you are. I forgot to ask you," as Tessa staggers out the door and falls into his arms, saying, "I can't breathe. Has she been poisoned?" The year is coming to an end, but that doesn't mean there won't be plenty of drama set to go down in closing out 2024, and while ringing in 2025. The Young and the Restless Lauralee Bell has done it again with her latest video to give fans a backstage peek at the very special way Genoa City will ring in the new year. The actress had some help by her castmates Michael Damian, his on-screen son Michael Graziadei, Alison Lanier, Christian LeBlanc, Tracy E. Bregman, Beth Maitland, Peter Bregman, Susan Walters, and a host of extras from the New Year's Eve shows in order to make this video pop like the cork on a champagne bottle. Neon Trees' Everybody Talks plays in the background while the various stars lean in to share a little secret, and if you ask Belle, she explained how the song chose her. Since Michael Damian and I are in the New Year's shows on The Young and the Restless, airing on December 30 and January 2, and we get to work with some of our favorite longtime castmates, we had to do something extra special to wish the show's loyal fans a Happy New Year to thank them for their continued support. While she often comes up with concepts for the videos first, this time, she was taking her pups for a walk when the featured song came on. It instantly clicked how perfectly it worked for the New Year shows. The usual suspects in these videos expect me to grab them to do strange stuff on camera between shots, but this time I had to run up to Peter Bergman and Susan Walters and say, "Trust me on this one, I promise it will be cute." We had so much fun doing these scenes and this video, and you can definitely tell from the group shots at the end. And as an added bonus, she revealed, I also included some of our wonderful hardworking extras, because they are always great too. Happy New Year to all. Victor Newman has won hearts by becoming a bigger person this holiday season. The Young and the Restless spoilers saw him doing the unthinkable when it came to the matter of hearts. Victor gave Cole Howard the green light to pursue a relationship with his daughter Victoria. However, this fairy tale has only begun to end tragically. Find out why. The Young and the Restless spoilers can tell that Victor is the master of holding grudges. However, this time, he lets bygones be bygones, forgiving Cole's involvement in the whole Jordan Dungeon fiasco. Moreover, the Newman patriarch is ready to bury the hatchet. Why this change of heart? Cole has proved his worth before Victor by stepping up as an ideal dad to Claire Newman. Victoria's father can't overlook this aspect because he himself is very family-oriented. Now, with Victor going easy on Cole, the future looks brighter than ever for him and Victoria. The word on the street teases that Cole is planning to drop to one knee and pop the question a lifetime. Additionally, he's not alone, as Claire takes charge of the whole romantic surprise. Ultimately, Victoria's guarded heart may finally open up to the idea of forever. Is it time to hear some wedding bells? Not so fast. The hints from the recent Y&R episode may make you think otherwise. Cole and Victor revealed just how much family means to them. The former went as far as to declare he would do whatever it takes for Victoria and Claire. Even more than Victor. Imagine comparing yourself to the industry titan who has seen it all. Interestingly, the CBS soap will allow Cole to prove his mettle. With Jordan and Ian Ward playing dirty tricks, Victor and Cole will fall into a trap. And while Victor may dodge the Grim Reaper, the other might not be so lucky. Will Cole's love story with Victoria end in heartbreak instead of I do? After all, nothing stays blissful for long in the tricky world of soap operas. The Young and the Restless spoilers confirm that Victor Newman loves to insist that Nikki Newman is the love of his life. While we don't doubt that Victor cares for her, but does she really love her as much as he claims to? Over the decades, he has cheated on her multiple times, hurt her feelings, betrayed her, and even married multiple other women. Sure, he seems settled with her now, but who is to say that he won't cheat on her again if the opportunity presents itself? Besides, Victor and Nikki have practically nothing in common. Victor is vindictive like nobody's business. He doesn't care who gets hurt as long as he gets his way. The mustache gets what the mustache wants. Nikki is not like that. She still holds a grudge for the way Victor has created Jack Abbott through the years. even as recently as berating him and trying to destroy him for risking his life to help Nikki. The young and the restless spoilers recall that Nikki did not like how Victor was lying to Lily Winters in the whole Abbott-Chancellor situation. So it's clear that the two of them are barely ever on the same page about anything. This makes us wonder, can they remain together forever? Or could 2025 bring a marital storm for them? We do have two women on our mind who could catch Victor's attention, Ashley Abbott and Phyllis Summers. Ashley and Victor share a romantic history and have a daughter together. In fact, Ashley is currently single, and her usual on and off boo, Tucker McCall, is off the canvas. So it is very possible that sparks may fly between Victor and Ashley at some point if they start to cross each other's paths again. Which, of course, is not all that hard in GC. These people barely ever have any new place to go to. They always have the same hangouts. Next, Phyllis Summers really feels like such an obvious choice. She is a true contrast to Nikki, and so similar to Victor. Both are vindictive, obsessive, and really crooked when they want to be. They both have an evil streak. In fact, it would be so much fun to see them involved in a battle of wits that turns into a hookup. But can it go any farther than that? Will Victor blow up his marriage for yet another woman at this stage of life? The young and the restless spoilers reveal that for a long time, Victor Newman wanted Cole Howard away from his family. Victor changed his stance during Christmas 2024 and has given Cole his blessing. While Cole and Victoria Newman could get married, is this relationship doomed? Could the wedding bliss turn into a tragedy? Cole Howard's sin. And our spoilers reveal that for a while, Victor had Jordan locked in a prison on his property. Eventually, Cole found Jordan down there and alerted Michael Baldwin. Despite Victor's protests and threats, Michael manages to get Jordan transferred to a real prison without the Newman patriarch getting arrested. Victor was furious and, from that point on, wanted Cole away from his family. Of course, Cole didn't take Victor's orders and kept living his best life. My and our spoilers. Victor Newman's blessing. During Christmas 2025, Victor finally gave his blessing to Cole. Victoria wasn't there because she was homesick. However, Cole likely tells Victoria about it, and perhaps even Victor has a chat with his daughter. That will open up the door to Cole possibly proposing marriage to Victoria. Of course, this would be very exciting for Cole, Victoria, Claire, and also Nikki Newman. While the Newman family usually has big, lavish celebrations, Cole is more a down-to-earth guy. Plus, I could see Claire getting the credit for bringing Cole and Victoria back together again. Death foreshadowing. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that everything has been going so well with Cole, Victoria, and their blended family. Claire Grace Newman has been fully accepted into the Nemwan family. Plus, Claire is even getting along with her half-siblings, Katie Newman and Johnny Abbott. When things are going so well, tragedy is likely around the corner, at least in soaps. The young and the restless spoilers, wedding tragedy? In the December 27, 2024 episode, Cole played up how Victor would die to protect his family. Then it was suggested that Cole would do the same for Victoria and Claire. So could that have been a foreshadowing? Could Cole and Victoria get ready to tie the knot only to have Jordan commit another crime? Could Cole end up dying at his own wedding to save Victoria and Claire? What are your predictions for Cole, Victoria, and Claire? What does the future hold for Jordan, Victor, Nikki, and the other characters? The young and the restless spoilers suggest #TeamChick can feel a romantic reunion coming between Nick Newman and Sharon Newman coming. Sharon's ex has offered her unwavering support during this turbulent time in her life and has been her #1 advocate. While Sharon confessed to Heather Stevens' murder and running Phyllis Summers off the road, from the beginning, Nick felt as if this was all off. In fact, many can argue that had he not had her meds tested, she may not have decided to get hypnosis, which revealed the truth that she had nothing to do with Phyllis' car crash or Heather's demise. As the holidays only brought Schick closer this year, could the two share a steamy moment on New Year's Eve? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon and Nick Newman's NYE kiss. E&R spoilers suggest there's a good chance that Nick and Sharon will decide to ring in 2025 together. Faith Newman will likely head out with friends, and Nick won't want Sharon to be alone on the holiday. It'll start with the exes doing something very low-key like some fun takeout while they watch movies. And once they start talking, Sharon could tell Nick just how much she appreciated how he believed in her this entire time. Once again, he's become her hero, something he's been all throughout her life. When the clock strikes midnight, could the two share a NYE kiss, the start of a possible Schick reunion? Y&R spoilers, Tessa Porter's kidnapping. Y&R's video preview for the week of December 30, January 3 shows an obviously drugged Tessa Porter stumbling outside of society. She eventually collapses in Ian Ward's arms and seems to be dressed in a beautiful purple NYE outfit. Tessa may have to work on New Year's at society, and there's a chance that Maria Copeland will be by her side. Although that doesn't mean either Jordan or Ian won't have the opportunity to drug Tessa somehow and snatch her up before anyone notices. Meanwhile, at Sharon's cabin, Schick could be getting into it, but will they be stopped? Maria may realize that Tessa is gone at the stroke of midnight in panic. Will she reach out to her mom or Nick for help? Looks like NYE is going to be filled with drama and GC. Will Schick get close to a steamy moment but get stopped? Will Ian kidnap Tessa? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 30 promise some plot twists as another week kicks off in the land of Genoa City. Two skeptical parents grill their son. Someone is in a race against the clock, and a character is in danger. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Monday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Mr. and Ms. Moustache aren't convinced. E&R spoilers for Monday, December 30 note Nick Newman will offer his parents some updates on Sharon Newman and her case. While Sharon recalled another person in Daniel Romolotti's apartment the night of Heather Stevens' murder during hypnosis, it sounds like Victor Newman and Nikki Newman won't be convinced of her innocence. Of course, they'll worry that Sharon and her mental health issues are dragging their son down again, especially considering Schick's history, but it sounds like despite his parents' skepticism, Nick will remain determined to clear Sharon's name. Y&R spoilers, Danny Romolotti's race against the clock. Across town, Y&R spoilers for Monday, December 30 suggest that fans will get to see Danny Romolotti and Christine Blair, as the two will be back in the land of Genoa City with a cute quickie storyline. The Bug and the rock star will be desperate to spend New Year's Eve together, however, will be separated for one reason or another. As Danny races against the clock, there will also be some interesting curveballs that keep them apart. Still, it sounds like the two will be reunited before the clock hits midnight, so fans will get to see an NYE kiss from Danny and Cricket when all is said and done. The Young and the Restless spoilers, danger on the horizon for Tessa Porter. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Monday hint Ian Ward will need Jordan's help to pull off a dire plan. Could this be about Tessa Porter? During the Y&R preview video for the week of December 30, January 3, Tessa is shown, visibly drugged and ready to collapse as she stumbles out of society and passes out in Ian's arms. Will Jordan and Ian kidnap Tessa or attempt to on Monday? Are you excited about Monday's show? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Maria Copeland found Tessa Porter with Ian Ward outside of society. Tessa has been drugged, but Ian is acting like her savior. Ian even has an inhaler to help Tessa breathe. So what happens next? Why isn't Maria doing anything? Tessa Porter drugged. We and our spoilers reveal that Ian slithered into society and drugged Tessa's drink. It was an insane night at the restaurant on New Year's Eve. Tessa sipped her drink and, soon after, started feeling lightheaded. Tessa let Abby Winters know that she wasn't feeling too good and was going to get a snack. However, Tessa's symptoms became worse very quickly. Soon enough, Tessa stumbled out of society as everyone was screaming and cheering over the new year. My and our spoilers. Ian Ward's bold move. When Tessa stumbled out of society, she collapsed into Ian's arms. Ian sat down with Tessa and held an inhaler to her mouth. That is when Maria showed up to meet her loved ones and Tessa at society to ring in the new year together. Maria was stunned when she spotted Tessa with Ian. Even though it's been many years, Maria likely recognized Ian. Imagine the horror in Maria's heart right now. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that while Ian sits with Tessa acting like a saint, Jordan has chloroformed Sharon. While Jordan makes Sharon disappear, Ian will likely look like a hero. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Maria Copeland's guilt. Next week, it is teased that Maria is haunted by her past. Maria is likely frozen with fear when she sees Tessa with Ian. Now, Ian likely has called 911 and will claim to be waiting with Tessa until the paramedics arrive. However, it would be just like Jordan to steal an ambulance. When Tessa is carted inside the back of the ambulance, Ian could take over and say he'll ride with her. I could see Maria so shell-shocked and horrified that she literally stays frozen in fear for a while. Since everyone else is busy celebrating New Year's, they might not even know an ambulance was there. In fact, what if Ian and Tessa disappear in that ambulance? By the time Maria snaps out of it and rushes to the hospital, what if Tessa is gone? That could have Maria going through a lot of guilt. With Sharon also MIA, it could also make the target look guilty of yet another crime. The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that the holidays are notorious for bringing on the pounds. Just sniffing all the goodies, chocolate fudge, chocolate chip cookies, scalloped potatoes, and more, can increase the waistline. But for Christian LeBlanc, the news is especially tragic this year. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Christian LeBlanc gets no mercy. LeBlanc shared the bad news on Instagram. Literally in the lounge, getting ready to go to New Orleans for a food fest, he shared, "And I look at my script on my first day back after this trip. There's a big BMU, which means body makeup, which means somebody's gonna have to show their body the first day after vacation." Did we mention that LeBlanc is chewing on a bagel as he speaks, crumbs dropping from his mouth? He added, "And I brought all my elastic waist pants. Probably hide behind Tracy E. Bregman, Lauren Baldwin. So sad. Well, Merry Christmas." LeBlanc was so stressed he couldn't stop nibbling on his bagel. That's not going to help. My and our spoilers. Sharon Newman's court case looms large. On the other hand, we're delighted by the news. It means that Lauren and Michael are in for some fun times and aren't letting the stress of the holidays and Sharon Newman's court case get them down. Sharon has been accused of killing Heather Stevens. Under hypnosis, she recalled a key detail from that dark night, that she and Heather were not alone in the room. That means that someone else killed Heather. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sharon Newman's legal drama is frightening. But how will Michael prove this? It's a tall order unless Jordan and Ian Ward mess up and expose themselves as the ones behind the murder. Somehow we think that Michael can pull off a miracle, and maybe that's why he's ready to get frisky with his wife. We know all will be well in the end. BMU be damned. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Grace Newman seems to have the perfect life now. Claire has her parents' love and a family. Even Victor Newman and Nikki Newman have accepted Claire as one of their own. Claire even has a new career in a relationship. However, this is when things usually go south, so what could upend Claire's life next? The Young and the Restless spoilers. A troubled beginning. My and our spoilers reveal that Claire didn't have a good beginning. Stolen and raised by supervillain Jordan, Claire was just a weapon to use against the Newman family. While Claire did do unspeakable things, including putting vodka in Nikki's IV, she ended up being reformed. After Claire got mental health treatment, she had a new beginning. Victoria Newman and Cole Howard couldn't stay away from the daughter they lost all those years ago. Claire has earned approval from a lot of people, including Summer Newman. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire had a special family photo done for Christmas. It includes Claire in the Newman family photo as well as Cole. Claire also got a horse as a gift, and her romance with Kyle Abbott seems to be going well. In fact, Claire experienced intimacy for the first time, and Kyle called her his wing woman. Claire seems to be living the perfect life right now. That means big trouble could be ahead, and it might not be what fans expect. Fans expect Jordan and Ian Ward to get their paws on Claire somehow. While Ian suggested Claire be part of his revenge scheme against Sharon Newman, Jordan passionately refused. Despite Jordan's evil sins, it seemed as if she were somehow trying to protect Claire. However, Claire's problems might not be connected to Jordan this time. It's possible that Jordan might be connected to the outcome, though. What if Claire suffers some kind of medical illness? What if Jordan is the key to saving Claire's life? Of course, it's also possible that Sharon isn't the only one being fed tainted pills. What if Claire is on a med? Maybe an antidepressant or anxiety med for her trauma with Jordan. Could those pills have been tainted with PCP as well? If so, will someone realize Claire isn't acting like herself? Will they look into it further, or could Claire be the victim of Jordan's manipulations all over again? CBS. The Young and the Restless first aired in 1973 and is one of American TV's longest-running scripted soap operas. Created by William and Lee Bell, the show is set in Genoa City, Wisconsin, and follows the Abbott, Winter, Newman, and Chancellor families. The December 27 and 28, 2024, spoilers for The Young and the Restless showed how Ian manipulates Jordan into returning to their villainous alliance. Jordan and Ian's collaborations have always targeted the residents of Genoa City and caused harm to others. Ian capitalizes on Jordan's insecurities to get what he wants. The spoilers suggest his recent plan involves kidnapping Faith Newman to try to get back at Sharon and Nick, against whom he holds grudges. The spoilers hinted that Jordan was initially apprehensive about joining in on Ian's plan to kidnap someone who hadn't done anything wrong to either of them. However, Ian managed to manipulate her into helping him with the kidnapping. The upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless are expected to shed light on how they plan to abduct Faith Newman. Ian Ward has always been a manipulative and sinister person who seeks revenge and vengeance whenever he can. He was a former cult leader and an expert at planning coups. Meanwhile, Jordan's grudges against the Newman family, especially against Sharon, make her a good fit for Ian's plans. Ian and Jordan's suspicious meetings suggested that they were up to something. In the past as well, their plans have mostly been targeted against the members of the Newman family, especially Victor and Nikki Newman. Their recent planning suggests that Faith's abduction could cause many potentially dangerous consequences for the rest of the Newman family as well. Recent storylines on The Young and the Restless Recent plotlines on The Young and the Restless showed Victor Newman trying hard to ensure that his empire and legacy were passed on to his family's next generation. Meanwhile, Nick and Sharon have been trying to figure out what their relationship means as they try to co-parent. Billy Abbott is seen struggling with his addictions and the emotional turmoil caused by his relationships. He is trying to find stability and recover from his past traumas. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott tries to consolidate the Jabot Cosmetics empire while he is still the reigning CEO. Devin and Amanda struggle to keep their relationship afloat as they both find out secrets about each other's pasts, which causes tensions. Jill and Lily try to find ways to extend their business ventures at Chancellor Industries. You knew we were going there, so let's just knock this one out of the way first. Heather's death was so shocking that we struggled to accept it, and some still think or even hope it was a dream. On top of that, the Young and the Restless official whodunit took us on a wild ride right up until Sharon confessed and then recanted her story. We lost a long-term character and brought back two of the show's best villains, and we'll likely see more carnage before this storyline wraps up. While we're on the subject, the return that no one saw coming happened this year when we had the return of not just one supervillain but two, and they were working together. When Jordan walked into the motel room and told Ian, "It's done," the collective gasp followed by, "How do those two know each other?" was heard around the world. Love her or hate her, Phyllis had a good point this year when Michael wasn't at her bedside when she woke up from her coma, and instead was championing the woman that she thought had run her down. Even as a pseudo-family member, at Heather's funeral weeks prior to becoming the lawyer of the confessed murderer was a stretch, but seeing him telling Phyllis to get over it while she was still in the hospital bed was disappointing. There's been nothing quite as authentic and real as the banter and support that Sally and Audra give one another. Whether it's talking about boys or work, they talk like real girlfriends do, and we want to see more of it in 2025. Not only Sally and Audra, but actual friendships among characters, not just suddenly contrived ones like Nikki and Lauren out of nowhere claiming to be buds. When your ex-wife has burnt down your parents' home, and you can still forget about that as you stroll through the newly rebuilt replica, you're taking seeing the good in people to a new level. But Nick Newman has managed to stand by Sharon no matter what. Sharon confessed to murders, framed his daughter's brother, and thought she ran his other ex-wife off the road to shut her up. Sure, she was high on angel dust, but he didn't know that, or rather, he didn't notice. Nick has made a full-time job out of chanting his "Sharon is a good person" mantra, and will not stop until she's back on her pedestal. While Nick obsesses with Sharon's day-to-day activities, whereas Christian, he's been barely mentioned all year and skipped all family-related events like Abby's wedding and the ranch house reveal. Nick left him playing in the mud in the barn for Thanksgiving, and was singing "Deck the Halls" with his other family-ish peeps at Sharon's on Christmas, with his son once again conspicuously absent. Where is Christian? Some people would watch the daughter they never knew lure their family members to a crazy woman to have them all knocked off and see that as a bad thing. But Victoria knew that somewhere inside Claire were all the hopes and dreams she'd had for her baby that had been stolen at birth. Victoria took all those bad memories of past and present and turned them into a belief for the future that Claire was exactly who she wanted her to be, and it paid off. Maybe it's the attempts at taking over companies and throwing partners under the bus, but if there's anyone with a broken track record at holding a job, it's Audra Charles. She was in good company with Billy, Lily, Daniel, Heather, Phyllis, and Kyle, who were all fired this year. Even her possibly future bro-in-law/lover, Camion, might give her a run for her money for not being able to hold a job, but Audra was consistently fired and refused to be hired, to the point that she actually wondered if the problem was her. Chance decided to join the corporate world, and a nanosecond later was demanding to be co-CEO with Billy. It didn't matter that he had no experience or even wanted to be at the company. Chance had a job to do. Monitor Billy. He didn't get his way, so he walked out. Then he heard that Heather had died, so he rejoined the force and got himself assigned to her case. Sure, he messed the entire thing up, but according to Chance, he was just doing his job. And that's why he gets the award. Chance isn't necessarily good at what he does, but he is determined to be an employee. And for that, he wins the title. While Victor was delighted to see Jack and Diane argue in public, everyone else was appalled. Tracy even reached out to Diane to try to help, while Kyle didn't know what he was witnessing. Okay, so some of us viewers doubted the authenticity of the sudden War of the Roses. But in the end, we all duped, right until Jack comforted Diane and said it was almost over. Victor was livid when Cole and Victoria rekindled their relationship and ordered him out of her life. Meanwhile, he fired his lawyer and friend Michael and only gave him a chance to return because he needed his help to bring down other people he swore revenge on. But the reason Victor hated Cole and Michael? Because they didn't let him keep a woman in a cage in his wine cellar. Maybe it sounded better in his head, but saying it out loud wasn't the flex Victor thought that it was. A year ago, Nikki was battling the damage that Jordan had inflicted on her. Since then, she regained control of her alcoholism. Though her sponsor was killed by Jordan and Jack nearly killed himself helping her, co-conspired a plan to screw over Lily and take control of Chancellor, is once again the lady of the manor at the Newman Ranch, and is CEO at one of the biggest conglomerates in the world. 1 year later, Nikki has reset the clock to where she felt like she was before Jordan tried to kill her. Whether she pretends to be a man or a woman, Jordan Howard has become the master of disguises. We're not sure where she gets all the wigs and outfits or where she ditches them after, but her ever-changing looks are impressive. No wonder the prison staff have no idea she has swapped places with a stranger. Phyllis spent a long time this year getting back in the good graces of her family and friends. Apparently faking your death was something so horrible that when she really did nearly die, they only just barely cared. Hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me repeatedly, spit me out and try to come back for the 100th time, and still shame on you. These two are self-admittedly toxic. They know it, we all know it, and yet, despite zero physical chemistry or sexual tension ever, they still manage to cheat on the people they supposedly loved and wreck their lives too. When Chelsea gave Adam a final send-off at the athletic club and then marched out like she was in a Taylor Swift video, we thought it was the end. But brace yourselves, looks like we're going back in. For a brief period of time, Chance was the best thing that could have happened to Summer. He got her to see things like her bitter custody battle from a different perspective, and she seemed to have matured while she was with him. The two of them together were a surprisingly good match who seemed to bring out the good in one another. There was an opportunity there for a great relationship to grow further, but then Chance got all weirdly entitled at Chancellor and ran back to the police force to wreck everything for everyone, including himself. When Chance wouldn't look at any other evidence because he was solely focused on putting handcuffs on her brother, Summer tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. But she'd finally had enough when his snarky attitude was just too rude. But instead of the typical soapy split due to misunderstandings or lack of communication skills, Summer clearly called Chance out on his biz and put the brakes on the relationship for all the right reasons, with all the right words. Seeing Phyllis making plays for her man was nothing new to Christine, but this time, she swatted her off and pulled out her bug spray like never before. And Danny learned it was time to shape up or ship out. Hopefully, that will be the last time we see him falling for any other distractions. But if Phyllis tries anything again, she better expect a high-flying scissor kick from Cricket. Billy can be the best friend you ever needed and can be the most determined. He can also be your worst enemy. But whether it's to be successful or to exact his revenge, he is exactly who you want him to be, based on who you were to him. He's not all over the map, he's just matching energies with everyone around him. Sure, he's made some mistakes, and yes, he can be ruthless when he wants to be, but Billy's heart is huge. He's had it kicked around, pulled out, and driven over, and he keeps finding a way to try to love himself, even if no one else will. Not even Sharon is sure who was a ghost and who was a hallucination, but we're going to assume that Cameron and Heather were apparitions, or at least we're going to call them that for the sake of the award. Cameron tied for first because although he was full of bad ideas, the snark and sarcasm were hilarious at inappropriate times, and having him return, even just for the eye-rolling at Sharon, would be welcomed. As for Heather, her Halloween pop-ups from the park to the backseat gave us another dose of the character we didn't know we'd miss so much. And if she'd had even more appearances, I wouldn't have complained. Ashley as Belle had some entertaining scenes, and if we didn't want her to actually get better, having her alternate personalities around could have lasted a little longer. But since her long-distance therapy, we're now wondering if the good doctor living with her sister is who he actually says he is or his evil twin. That storyline still had plenty of life left in it, and we're probably going for round 2 in 2025. Jack and Victor's feud goes back so many decades that they probably can't even remember how it began, but the level of rage the two of them have for one another resurfaces at just the right time and in just the right ways. Victor is cutthroat and definitely more blatant. He goes after Jack's family with no holds barred. But Jack moved himself into winning territory this year when he stayed the night in a hotel room with Nikki, taking himself to the brink of overdose to get Nikki off the bottle. It worked in more than one way. Not only was Nikki scared straight, but Victor will never really know what happened during the night of debauchery, as Victor calls it. Of all the battles these two have had, or have yet to have had, Jack won't ever need to lift another finger to drive Victor crazy with jealousy, wondering what they did behind closed doors. Viewers were just as surprised as Nikki was when Victor brought her to the replica house that we had all called their home for decades. The smallest of details was remembered and replicated, and it was the perfectly nostalgic moment to accompany the 13,000th episode celebrations. But with everything going on with Sharon and a lot of characters claiming that she wouldn't do anything too out of sorts while off her meds, they stood in that very home and forgot why it needed to be rebuilt. It was the perfect example of exactly what Sharon is capable of, and there were some missed opportunities to say so. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.